All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a pretty fascinating idea today, and that's completely rethinking social media from the ground up to be centered around people. It's called the Mosaic Model, and it really starts with a powerful question. What if social media was actually designed to strengthen society, not just exploit it?
I mean, it all started with this amazing promise, right? We can all remember it. This idea that these new platforms would connect us in all these incredible new ways, building communities and bridging huge distances. It was just this super optimistic vision for the future.
But yeah, that's not really how it turned out, is it? Somewhere along the line, that promise just got lost. That dream of community and connection feels like it's been swapped out for, well, constant conflict and exploitation. And free expression? It keeps hitting these massive walled gardens. So the big question is, how did we get here?
So to figure that out, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at that broken promise. Then we'll diagnose why the current model is failing. After that, we'll introduce a totally new model called Mosaic, see how it puts you back in control, and then wrap up with how we could actually build this thing together.
Okay, so let's get into the weeds a bit. Why exactly is social media failing us? Before we can really get what Mosaic is all about, we first have to understand what's so fundamentally broken about the way things are right now.
You know, one of the biggest problems is that today's platforms are literally built to work against us. Their whole design amplifies conflict and fuels polarization. And why? Because outrage gets way more clicks, and that engagement, well, that's their lifeblood.
And that leads right into this next point, which is all about your attention. See, in the current system, your attention isn't just a side effect of you using the app. No, it's the actual product they are selling. They are literally mining it, packaging it up, and selling it to the highest bidder.
And at the exact same time, it's not just your attention. They're also harvesting your personal data on a scale that is just staggering. They use all that info to build these incredibly detailed profiles that then influence everything you see and buy, often in ways that are totally hidden from you.
So what's the engine running this whole machine? It's these things called opaque algorithms. Just think of them as total black boxes. We have no idea what's going on inside. But we do know their main goal isn't to help you connect or find relevant info. It's simply to keep you hooked for the platform's financial gain.
So when you boil it all down, it comes to this one simple, kind of brutal truth. We aren't the customers. The advertisers are. Our experience, our well-being, it all takes a back seat to keeping the real customers, the ones paying the bills, happy.
Okay, so that all sounds pretty bleak, I know. But what if there was another way? This is where things get really interesting. Let's talk about a new model, Mosaic, and its whole deal is about one thing, a massive shift in power from the giant platforms back to us, the people.
So check this out. The old model is all about one company at the center calling all the shots. It's centralized. The Mosaic model flips that completely on its head. It's decentralized, meaning the power is spread out among everyone who's actually using it. It's a total game changer in how we even think about building these things.
And this whole new way of doing things is built on some really powerful ideas. You could honestly call them rights, like your right to actually own your data, your right, if you're a creator, to control your own work, the right for your communities to make their own rules, and maybe the biggest one of all, your right to choose what you see in your own feed.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds amazing in theory, but is it just a pipe dream? How does it actually work? Well, that's what we're going to dive into next, the nuts and bolts of how Mosaic really puts people back in control. The cool thing is, Mosaic isn't inventing everything from scratch. It's really cleverly combining a few key technologies that are already out there. It all comes down to three main building blocks: personal data stores, decentralized identity, and independent spaces. Let's break down each one.
First up, personal data stores. The easiest way to think about this is like having your own personal digital Fort Knox, a secure vault for all your data. So instead of a big tech company holding it, you do. You have the cryptographic keys. You and only you decide who gets in.
Next, we've got decentralized identity. This is like a universal passport for the internet that only you own. So no more login with Google or login with Facebook. Your identity is yours, it's portable, and it works everywhere in this new ecosystem without some giant company tracking your every move. And the third piece of the puzzle is independent spaces. This is so cool. Think about your favorite online group. Now, imagine that group could set its own rules.
use its own tools, basically build its own little corner of the internet exactly how it wants. No more one-size-fits-all nonsense.
Okay, so we have these separate parts, data stores, identity, spaces. How does that not just become a chaotic mess? Well, for you, it all flows together beautifully into one place, your news feed. But here's the kicker. You control it. You follow the spaces you want, and you choose the filters, the algorithms that decide what you see. You are finally in the driver's seat.
All right, this is the home stretch. We have the problem. We have this incredible vision for a solution. So how do we actually make it happen? This brings us to building the future together. Because something this big, well, it's going to take a village. So here's a funny thing. All those technologies we just talked about, they pretty much already exist. They're out there right now. So what gives? What's the missing piece? Why isn't this our reality already?
The answer is surprisingly simple. Coordination. That's it. We have all these amazing puzzle pieces just lying around, but nobody's really put them together in the right way to build a real, working alternative to the tech giants. That's what Mosaic aims to be. The glue, the connective tissue that brings it all together.
So the next step isn't for one company to go off and build this in a dark room. No way. It has to be a team effort, a huge collaboration. We need the tech people, of course, but we also need social scientists, creators, service providers, funders, everybody really, to come together and design this thing the right way.
And that's really where this leaves us. If any of this has sparked something in you, if you're listening and thinking, yes, this is what we need, then the invitation is wide open. The folks behind Mosaic are looking for people to connect with, to help build what comes next. Because a future like this, it needs all of our perspectives to become a reality.